Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. This is all my thoughts, my speculations, my opinions. The area where the four University of the Idaho students were unalived was known as a party spot. Taxi driver says that's where people go to get drugs. So this is a taxi driver who is to drive his customers to pick up drugs from 1122 King Road. I don't think he would be lying to local news, and they would verify his story, I would assume. This is not the first time we heard these rumors. If you remember, Thompson said that it wasn't the victims that were the target, it was the residents. We have Emma Bailey living right behind 1122 King Road. And we have Bethany Funk selling. Charlie, it's written on a VENMOS in 2021 to 2022. Maybe she found different methods of getting a rug song. Bethany was from Nevada. What was she actually doing in Moscow, Idaho? She looks like she's older than them, in my opinion. This is all my thoughts and speculations. You can see this is Bethany Funk is Venmo. May 28, 2021, 12:08 a.m. Amaya Condon paid Bethany Funk. COKE. Riley Hilden paid Bethany Funk on June 21st, 2021 at 3:21 p.m. He said crack cocaine behind the Rayleigh's dumpster. How convenient. This is all from Bethany Funk is Venmos. Bethany Funk paid Xana Knodel, but she rests in peace, bottom plants. This could have been a joke, but the other two I don't believe is a joke. Even Xana and Bethany could have been sending each other codes. I guess there are some jokes too, but I don't think everything's a joke. Could this have been the Riley's dumpster? Just wondering. So Bethany could be dealing with drugs, allegedly. Then you have Emma Bailey and Demetrius, who went down for Caden Young, is OD. They were caught with drugs and weapons, and they were still let go. Both Emma Bailey and Demetrius are friends with Ashton Court. What was the hunter doing in that house the whole time? And the Sigma Chi boys. And Emily, allegedly. Shoving it behind. William prosecutor said in the beginning of this case that the house was the target. Were they selling drugs in this house? Allegedly.
Upset and crying, and she said something bad has happened to Kaylee, and I said, well, what do you mean? And she said, I have a friend down there, and they called me and told me that Kaylee Gonzalez had been killed. And I immediately started trying to call Kaylee, and her phone was going straight to voicemail. So then I started calling Maddie. Her phone would ring, and then I said, okay, everybody needs to relax, because if something happened to Kaylee last night, Maddie would have called me.
Kaylee had recently moved out of the house at 1122 King Road, but had returned to spend the night with
And we called Maddie's mom, and Maddie's mom said, yes, I got a call from down there. And we're like, why haven't we got a call? And my son said, the sheriff's here. And I actually took off to my bedroom, and the rest of the family answered the door. My knees were shaking. My whole body was shaking. My knees were shaking. My whole body was shaking.
That's when you lose all hope.
Well, Kaylee and Maddie came home at 1:56, according to Olivia G., Kaylee's older sister. She got to see the footage from the neighbors, and she said that Eric Gower drove Kaylee and Maddie home. But did they actually make it inside the house, or were they chased down to Taylor Avenue because Maddie's coat was found behind the trees or the bushes? There's something that looked like a weapon inside Maddie's coat. I want to know what Jack Showalter has in both his jacket. He has a weapon, and his left leg in his pant looks like a cable. Look at his eye, it's cut. I've exposed this man so many times, I'm getting tired. Showalter comes from influence family. It's not only the Showalters and the DM and BF they're protecting. It's the whole university. Foundation will go down. No students are going to enroll. This is what he's carrying. And he has a lot of cables. He was kicked out of the corner club because of Kaylee and Maddie. They were witness to that. And he was kicked out because of Ethan complained about him to Delta Tau Delta Frat for S harassing females. So he was kicked out of his frat too. He lived 1 minute away from the girls. Showalter, aka Hoodie Guy, wasn't escorting the girls home. He was threatening the girls on the way home. He clearly said, you know we're going to get you for that, Maddie. That's when Kaylee says, Maddie, what did you tell Adam? And Maddie says, I told Adam like everything. I personally believe he has more symptoms of antisocial personality disorder, in my opinion only, than Koberger. He was going in the wrong direction, and his family was buying them ways out. Scott Green, his son Nick Green, was the frat president of Alpha Kappa Lambda. So they're all students of influenced parents, in my opinion. 1:56 when Kaylee and Maddie came home, I believe something already happened to Ethan and Xana. This was the white truck that was standing or parked at King Road. So was it David Lodge, allegedly, or Jack D, allegedly? What a coincidence. That's the time Maddie and Kaylee come home, 1:53. On the right-hand side, you see the same truck driving towards the corner club. And on the left-hand side, it's parked at King Road. So was that Jack D and Adam, allegedly, or was it David Lodge and David Baracha, allegedly? I believe they all could have been involved. There are many people involved, and there are many people who knew about the crime scene. This was all pre-planned, in my opinion. How could Steve G forget that he told us himself if Kaylee was scared of anything, she'd take pictures? I think either DM was driving her dad's truck, her stepmother's truck, or it was Quinn Kelly who was driving his father's truck. Why would Koberger come to a house so well lighted, surrounded by neighbors, and alive 4 victims, leave the main witness alive, and leave BF alive, and the dog? He had no motive. He had no connection to this house. What's going on? I wanted to share this picture with you all. This is the forensics team. Look at what they're looking at. Let me zoom in. What do you think? Is this a cable? Looks like something made of steel. It's kind of strange. There was more than one suspect. You can see it even how the crime scene forensic team are moving. It was a bloody crime scene, and none of the 911 callers mentioned the smell. The only reason the BF and DM stayed is they felt safe. They were part of the plan. I've always said, in my opinion, this was an inside job. But what is she looking at? Let me know, guys, what you'll think. Tracy Waldo, the former FBI agent and CIA agent, said when they use envelopes, they usually carry evidence like body fluid. So they did have evidence. They had 3 unidentified male DNAs from the very beginning of the case. BF is in Nevada. Didn't she get engaged or married or something like that? Why didn't you just come clean and say what you all saw? What is strange is that BF was taking photos for a whole minute at 8:42 in the morning, I believe. She was texting her mother, she was texting her father, calling her father. So was DM. They were on Instagram like a normal Sunday casual day, like nothing happened. I knew they were hiding their 911 call, and they put it on gag order for a purpose, because they knew the case would explode. Ashlyn Court moved out earlier. I wonder why. Was she done with the semester? She was defending Demetrius. She said she speaks to him 3 times a day. And she said they're good people. She said that she speaks to Emma once a day and that they're good people. After they unlived the 19-year-old boy, Caden Young. Wonder what was the relationship between these 5 girls. DM and Xana was sharing the same floor. Xana changed her door locks. She didn't fix it, she changed it, according to her father's interview. So was DM a threat to her? Was her things getting stolen? What was happening? Maybe Xana did not like DM's boyfriend, Quinn Kelly. Hunter Chapin looks like he's hiding things. I need to see the Amazon Prime. And Hunter Johnson went to Hunter Chapin at the Sigma Chi fraternity woke him up and said your brother and Xana have been unalived. Strange. Where was Petrock? Jody did not mention the smell, the scent of red liquid. Strange. Poor Xana and Ethan. They got backdoored. They trusted these people. They thought they would be loyal to them, in my opinion. I'm not saying they did it, but they didn't call 911. I think they were chilling with them and something went wrong. They all must be high on drugs, drinking, different things. These are college students. And if there's drugs involved, I'm not judging them. I'm just saying you'll have to think in all perspectives. There can be 100 different narratives. Why did they demolish the house? Because they knew Koberger could have easily won. And they gave him a plea deal because they must have threatened him. Like that they have evidences or something like that. He must have taken the plea deal to save his life because he saw that he wouldn't get the correct justice. Anything is possible. Because I believe the previous timeline was right, between 3 to 4. So if Koberger came between 4 to 4:25, I don't believe he did it. Because the previous timelines was the correct timelines. It was the police themselves who said it until they went and arrested Koberger. Pay attention to that. They had to line up everything. The white Hyundai Elantra took 7 weeks. They were in a manhunt. I don't know which manhunt. When allegedly Koberger was just in Washington Pullman, 10 minutes away from them. Nothing makes sense. Because it's a cover-up, in my opinion. All the friends worked with them. Nobody shows emotions, no tears, no sympathy. Let me know in the comment channel what you think. Please subscribe to Bianca and Outcast. They're really cool in shouting out other channels too. And have a lovely weekend. May the victims rest in peace. Condolence to their families.